In the late 1400s, a great new way in the European operation began led by Portuguese and Italian sailors. They make great voyagers into the unknown that full of danger, adventure, and discovery. These pioneers were driven by Christian zeal and profit. By 1518, the route to the so-called Spice Islands was dominated by Portugal. Spain wanted a route of its own. Enter 38-year-old Portuguese sailor Fernando de Magallanes, or Ferdinand Magellan as is known in English. He was a brilliant navigator who'd spent many years sailing the Indian Ocean. Magellan believed it was possible to sail around the New World and reach the Spice Islands from the east, since contrary to popular myth, it had been widely accepted for centuries that the earth was round. King Charles accepted Magellan's proposal and helped him assemble an expedition with 270 crew and 5 ships known as carracks. The fleet set sail on the 20th September 1519 and crossed a stormy Atlantic to reach the future site of Rio de Janeiro in modern Brazil. Magellan continued south until winter storm forced him to camp at Puerto San Julian, or Argentina. As Magellan searched for a passage west, one ship, the Santiago, was wrecked, though the crew were saved. Another ship, the San Antonio, deserted and sailed home. But Magellan did discover a 350-mile strait which now bears his name. Through the far ocean, a sea that seemed so calm, he named it Mare Pacifico, the peaceful sea, or Pacific Ocean. But the Pacific Ocean was far bigger than they'd estimated. Then, after 99 days at sea, the lookout spied land. They found Guam in the Marian Islands. A week later, Magellan and his men became the first Europeans to reach the Philippines, where they were able to feast on bananas and coconuts. With Magellan's Malay slave acting as translator, they sailed on through the Philippines to Cebu, where they made an alliance with a local ruler who agreed to be baptized as Christian and swore allegiance to the King of Spain. A local chief from the island of Mactan then asked Magellan for help in defeating his rival named Datu Lapu-Lapu, and Magellan agreed. He crossed to Mactan with 60 men in boats, but though the Europeans had superior weapons and armor, they were massively outnumbered. After burning the enemy village, Magellan's men were driven back into the shallow water, where Magellan himself was cut down as they tried to reach the boats. Their former allies on Cebu turned on Magellan's crew, butchering 30 of them in an ambush. The survivors fled with only enough men left to crew 2 ships. They burned the Concepcion and continued their search for the Spice Islands. They traveled to the Muslim court of Brunei on Borneo and were amazed by its splendor. Finally, with the help of local guides and more than 2 years after sailing from Spain, they reached their destination, the Spice or Maluku Islands, today part of Indonesia. But as they prepared for the long voyage home, the Trinidad sprang a leak and had to stay behind for repairs. Its crew later tried to return to Spain across the Pacific, but most of the men became sick or died. The survivors had to return to the Maluku Islands, where they and the Trinidad were captured by the Portuguese. The Victoria, the last and smallest ship of Magellan's fleet, sailed west for home, captained by Juan Sebastian Elcano. Crossing the Indian Ocean, it took 9 weeks of battling headwinds before they could round the Cape of Good Hope. The men began to starve once more. 21 died before they found fresh provisions at Cape Verde. On the 8th of September 1522, almost exactly 3 years after their departure, the famished, exhausted crew of the Victoria cast anchor at Seville, Spain. Just 18 of the original crew of 270 had made it home, but what they and Magellan's expedition had achieved was astonishing. The first voyage of circumnavigation around the world, mankind at last at final conclusive proof that their planet was a sphere and a greater idea than ever before its vast size.
Antonio Pigafetta is the son of Giovanni and Angela Pigafetta, the eldest son among the siblings of two. He was born in a wealthy family in 1492 and died with the same city in 1534. He studied astronomy, geography, and cartography. He survived 4 manuscript versions, 1 Italian and 3 French. He traveled with Portuguese explorer Ferdinand Magellan with his crew by the order of King Charles I of Spain with a voyage around the world. He took notes daily and recorded not only names of places and vocabulary of natives, but their food, attire, costume, and tradition.
For the historical context, si Pigafetta or Antonio Pigafetta at si Magellan o Ferdinand Magellan. Sila ay tinatawag na contemporary. Contemporary means present sila the same year na nangyari. So, noong 1519, nag-start ang first circumnavigation or yung tour nila around the world. So, noong 1521 naman, doon nila na-discover ang Philippines. So, ito yung tinatawag na Age of Explorations. Ano ba yung explorations? It means exploring and conquering a place. At sabi ng historians, ganun daw ang pag-i-interpret nila. So, ano nga ba yung mga reasons kung bakit sila nag-explore? We have 3 reasons. First is the economic. Need nila ng mga spices. Spices like pepper, cloves, nutmeg, and cinnamon. Bakit nga ba nila kailangan ng spices? First is kasi wala silang ref to preserve their foods. Second is to enhance the taste ng foods nila. And third is for medical purposes. So, second reasons kung bakit nag-explore sila is the political. According sa sources, kaya kasama ang political sa dahilan kung bakit sila nag-explore is dahil kapag may alam silang system before anyone else, they can manipulate or they can be the leader to guide the people around it. So third is the religious. So nung panahon ng mga Europe nun, meron tayong Roman Catholicism and Protestantism. Gusto nilang i-spread tong religion na to. And tayong mga Pilipino na-adapt natin is yung Roman Catholic. So, ang turo sa atin ng mga teachers natin dati is kaya sila pumunta is because of the 3 Gs. Ano nga ba yung 3 Gs? The God, Gospel, the Gold, and the Glory. So, to simplify, ito yung sinabi ko kanina, economic, political, and religious. So, 3 Gs and economic, political, and religious, same lang sila ng meaning. So, another reasons kung bakit sila nag-explore is because naghahanap sila ng ruta. Bakit nga ba? Noong unang panahon, meron tayong Italian-Arabian route. Ang ibig sabihin, ang Asia at ang Europe ay nagko-connect. So, doon sila dumadaan. Kaya lang, naisipan nilang maghanap ng bago kasi first, risky na tong ruta na to para sa kanila. Lumakas yung powers ng mga Muslim. That time, ang Ottoman Empire, pwede silang dumakip ng mga dayuhan na dumadaan. Lalo na ang mga pirates o yung mga tao sa Mediterranean area. Second is because expensive yung daanan. Ang daanan nila is ang Silk Road. Kaya they have two reasons bakit gusto nilang maghanap ng bagong ruta. Una is risky, and second is dahil expensive siya.
They use bamboo as bamboo covering, bamboo mats, because for them, bamboo was very useful during their time. It can use everywhere. They also use palm Some of their sail was made from palm leaves. Coconuts are the fruit of the palm tree. Madami din gamit yung palm tree. Doon din sila kumukuha ng pangkain nila dati. Every night, about midnight in the city, there's a jet black bird as large as a crow. When that bird came, all the dogs began to howl. The screeching and howling would last for 5 or 4 hours. Ito po yung itsura ng jet black bird. They go naked and some are bearded and have a tight black hair that reaches to the waist. They are good looking and delicately formed. Ito yung example ng clothing nila. Their houses are all built of wood covered with planks and thatched with leaves of the fig tree or banana tree. 2 fathoms long and they have floors and windows. The rooms and the bed are all furnished with the most beautiful palm of leaf mats. Ito yung example ng house nila dati.
In early Philippine history, the barangay was a complex socio-political unit which scholars have historically considered dominant organizational pattern among the various peoples of the Philippine archipelago. Fragmented ethnic groups established several polities formed by the assimilation of several small political units known as the barangay. The term barangay refers to a boat house on land and a boat on water, containing families, friends, and dependents, and is currently the basic political unit of the Philippines. Each was headed by a datu, who was then answerable to a raja or a lakan, who headed the city-state. Each barangay consisted of about 100 families. Some barangays were big or city-sized. By the 14th century, these polities were organized in strict social classes: the datu or ruling class, the maharlika or noblemen, the timawak or freemen, and the dependent class, which is divided into 2. The aliping namumuhay or serfs, and the aliping sa gigilid or the slaves.
Economic and livelihood. The Philippines is rich in natural resources, and this is where most of the Filipinos get their everyday needs. The livelihood of the Filipinos back then is different based on the environment and the available resources to a certain place they live in. The 4 main livelihood of the Filipinos are trading, farming, fishing, and mining. Trading is an alternative livelihood for the Filipinos back then because they seek trading when certain goods are not available in their place. They do trading to exchange a product they have to a product that they need. Farming. Farming is the common and mainly the livelihood of the Filipinos who lives in the mountains and plains back then. This is where they get their foods like rice, corns, and other crops. Fishing. Fishing is also the common and mainly the livelihood of the Filipinos who lives near the sea or lake back then. This is where they get their foods like fishes or other sea products that they need and they can use like pearls or shells. Filipinos back then use a lot of golds to use as their jewelries and they also use it for trading. Mining is also one of the main livelihood at that time.
First Mass. It was morning of Sunday, the last day of March and Easter Day when they need to prepare for the Mass. They landed with about 50 men without their body armor. Before the commencement of Mass, the captain sprinkled the entire bodies of the 2 kings with musk water. When the body of Christ was elevated, they kneel and worship him with clasped hands. They also fired the artillery of the ship. They also set the cross on the summit of the highest mountain so that every time they see it, every morning, they might adore it. And the name of their God is Abba. They worship by raising their hands and their face to the sky. And they said that the best port to get food is the Ceylon, Zubu, and the Kalaghan.
Ano ba nagsimula ang labanan sa Magda? Inutusan ni Magellan ng mga sundalo na magtungo sa mga baybayin ng Kapuluang Humabon at doon ay kinibigan niya sina Raha Colombo at Raha Siago na pinuno ng limasawa na gumabay sa kanya sa Cebu. Ang hari ng Cebu na si Raha Humabon dahil sa impluwensya ni Magellan kay Raha Humabon ang kaisang kautusan ay nutusan ni Humabon para sa mga kalapit na hepe na ang bawat isa sa kanila ay magbibigay ng mga supply ng pagkain sa mga barko. At pagkatapos ay magkukumbento ito ng bilang Kristyanismo. Ang karamihan sa mga hepeng ito ay sumunod dito, ngunit si Dato Lapu-Lapu na isa sa mga paunahing hepe sa loob ng pulo ng Mactan ang tanging tumutol. Tumangging tanggapin ni Lapu-Lapu ang kapangyarihan ni Rahaw Humabon sa mga bagay na ito. Iminungkahi ni Rahaw Humabon at Dato Zulu kay Magellan na pumunta sa pulo ng Mactan at presahin ang kanyang nasasakupan na si Dato Lapu-Lapu na sumunod sa kanyang mga kautusan. Nakita ni Magellan ang oportunidad na palakasin ang umiiral na pakikipagkaibigang ugnayan sa pinuno ng rehiyong Bisaya. Ayon kay Antonio Pigafetta, tinangka ni Magellan na hikayatin si Lapu-Lapu na sumunod sa mga kautusan ni Rahaw Humabon sa gabi bago ang labanan. Ayon kay Pigafetta, si Magellan ay nagpakilos ng mga 49 na katao na mga espada, kalasag, pana at mga baril at naglayag para sa Mactan sa umaga ng April 28, 1521. Pagkatapos ay tinangka ni Magellan na takutin ng mga ito sa pamamagitan ng pagsunog ng iyong mga kabahayan. Ang pagsunog na ito ang kabilang kay Lapu-Lapu at ang kanyang mga madirigma at sumalakay kay Magellan na nasugatan sa baraso ng isang sibat at isang kampihan. Kakampi ng mga mandirigma ni Lapu-Lapu si Magellan na sinaksak at tinaga ng mga sibat at espada. Nagawa ni Pigafetta at iba pa na makatakas. Ang ilan sa mga tauhan ni Magellan ay napatay sa labanan at ang ilang mga katubong naging Kristiyano na tumulong sa kanila ay napatay ng mga mandirigma ni Lapu-Lapu. Ang mga kaibigan ni Magellan na sina Rahaw Humabon at Dato Zulu ay hindi sumali sa kalabanan dahil sa kautusan ni Magellan. Inulat ni Antonio Pigafetta na nagpadala ng mensahe si Humabon na kung ibabalik ng mga mandirigma ang katawan ni Magellan at mga tripulante nito, sila ay bibigyan ng kasindaming kalakal na naiisin nila. Ang tugon ni Lapu-Lapu ay, hindi namin bibigay ang katawan ng kapitan para sa lahat ng mga kayamanan ng daigdig. Dahil ang kanyang katawan ay tropeyo ng aming pagwawagi sa laban sa mga mananakop na aming baybayin. Ang ilan sa mga kawal na nakaligtas sa labanan at bumalik sa Cebu ay nilason ng pistang ibinigay ni Rahaw Humabon. Nagbigay ng tulong sina Humabon at Dato Zulu sa karagdagan ng sundalo. Ngunit dahil sa sobrang bilib niya sa sarili, kaya siya namatay. Magellan was an excellent explorer and navigator, but he was no battle tactician.
In conclusion, Antonio Pigafetta is the historian of the first voyage around the world, with the Portuguese explorer Ferdinand Magellan. He recorded not only the name of the place, but also he recorded the vocabulary of the natives, food, attire, clothes, religion, and culture. And each barangay consists of 100 families that are founded by the Datu and the Raja and Lakal. And their main livelihood was fishing, farming, and trading goods.
So the relevance of his own venture fundamentally lies in the fact that he took part to the first globe circumnavigation between 1519 and 1522. Nakompleto na ito o yung paglalakbay niya sa buong mundo pagkatapos ng pagkamatay ni Ferdinand Magellan. And leaving a detailed description of the journey in the report of the first trip around the world. Nakuha o na-rescue itong nasabing lost manuscript noong 1797 and it is today considered as one of the most important documentary evidence relating to the geographical discoveries of the 16th century.
The contribution. Magellan didn't actually discover the Philippines, which had been known for a long length of time, not only in the two Filipinos, but only to Chinese, Malays, and different Asians. Yet, his journey was the first to make its reality known to Europe, which is pretty much what we mean by discovery. Because of the arrival of Magellan, it led the way to the Spanish colonization of the Philippines. The Spanish contributes a lot in our cultures, including religions, which is Catholicism, Spanish language influence such as Chabacano, Ilocano, Bicolano, Sugbuhanon, Hiligaynon, and Visaya. Fiesta cultures, Filipino surnames and change of native names such as Santo Tomas, San Jose, San Carlos. Clothes such as Barong Tagalog and Beretsaya. Education, arts, and music. Lastly, it gives awareness to the Filipinos that Westerners are existing.